war is launched.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of AF24NEWS Talks. Once again, I'm joined by my two panelists. To my left, I have Dr. Olabisi Deji-Folutile, a director here at AF24NEWS. And to my right, I have Dr. Olayinka Oyegbile, an editor or the editor of the paper. Today, we're going to be talking about the unfolding case of President Bola Tinubu's certificate saga. So just for a little bit of background, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, filed a suit seeking the school certificates of the sitting president, President Bola Tinubu. And a few days after the suit was filed, the president requested a stay, tried to slow down the release of the certificate and the school records, and citing the president himself or the suit itself, the president pleaded that doing so, that is releasing the results, could lead to severe and irreparable consequences to his life. So today, we just want to discuss what that could mean and every thought that Nigerians currently have concerning the unfolding situation. So I would like to start from Dr. Deji-Folutile. I want to ask, just based off of the statement I just made about the president fearing for his life, basically, what could you say the president could be afraid of?
A lot of people have been saying, what is the use of a certificate? Why is Atiku interested in that certificate? Like I always say here, this is politics, and everybody is just trying to play politics with one another. We all know that the former vice president is challenging his loss at the presidential election, and he's also looking for everything that he could hold on to, even if that will not be relevant for us in Nigeria. The only relevance perhaps will be that probably the sitting president lied on oath. If it happened that there are any discrepancies in the records that the university provides, if that happens. So if the president now thinks that, well, being that we have irreparable loss or on his personality, on his image, personally, I don't really understand what it means. Why the release of your records in a university could damage or harm your reputation and all of that. But like I said, I told somebody, I said, probably the president was also trying to play along with those challenging his academic records. And maybe he just wants them to have a leeway, to have a field day, thinking that there is something to hide. Perhaps, maybe that is why. Otherwise, whoever went to court to say that releasing the president's academic records are likely to damage the president's reputation, you will have thought that such lawyers should be sacked. Because what is damaging to your reputation? Personally, I don't have anything to hide, and nobody should have anything to hide about their academic records. But like I said earlier on, if President Tinubu wants to make his opponents to continue to seek after shadows when he already knows that there is nothing to hide, he can also ask the court for some things to prolong this matter so that all of us can be enjoying the drama, and at the end of the day, by the time the university provides the records, then all of us will just know that there is really nothing special about this record again. Because for me, academic records shouldn't be something that should damage anybody's reputation. They should be there for anybody to be able to have access to them. And if the president graduated from Chicago University, I think it shouldn't be a big deal. Interestingly, there is another development today now. We have been told now that the president has now allowed the court to release his certificate, but still hold on to other records concerning his gender, his academic records, and all of that. So I still see that also as still part of the play, the part of the, even though it will be an expensive joke, I must confess, because I don't think Nigerians need all of this. But I just want to believe that it's quite a huge joke, because I don't also see the reason why the president could want to delay or prevent the court or the university from releasing his gender and other academic things. I don't know if I answered your question, but that is the way I feel.
You answered my questions very well. You made mention of the angle stating that it could all be a joke, an expensive joke, and just a ploy by the president to sort of elongate this and just maybe catch them unawares and make sure their case sort of drags on for no reason. But I want to move over to Dr. Oyegbile and ask, if the contrary is the case, and truly there is something in the records that should not be shared for reason of how damaging it could be, what do you think are the implications to the contrary?
Well, as far as I know, releasing a candidate or a student's record who has graduated over 30 years ago cannot have any damage. He is not looking for another job. Neither is he going to use the certificate for anything. Unless if, while he was a student, maybe he committed some fraud or the certificate is not his own. Maybe because one of the things he said should not be released is the issue of gender and all those things. How will the release of your certificate injure you? For instance, now, I know the university I attended, and whether it's my enemy or my friend now says they want the record of my academic credentials, what harm will it do me now? Is it that it will show that maybe I claim that I got a first class or a second class upper or third class or whatever? Then when you release it, it is now going to make people think that, so this guy that said he had a first class or he had a second class upper or third class did not even have what he claimed to have. I'm still trying to understand how the release of the president's results by the Chicago State University is going to pose a danger to him as the president of Nigeria. And I read one of the newspaper columnists who argued that the president should sack his American lawyer. Why did he say that? Because the American lawyer went to the court to plead that the president's result should not be released because it is going to pose an injurious damage to his reputation or something. And I asked, in what way? You have said you went to this university. The university has released a statement at one time to say that, yes, you attended this university. So why would the release of your results pose any danger to you Now, that is what I don't really understand. And I think also that attending a particular institution and getting to the pinnacle of Nigeria is said to be the giant of Africa, the most populous black nation in the world. So if I attended an institution and I attained the leadership of that country, why will I now want my university not to release my result? I mean, to clear all doubt in the mind of the naysayers that maybe I didn't go to that university, the university has confirmed that I attended that university. So why will I now say that please don't release my result? I'm not using that result to look for any other job. Neither am I using it to do any other thing. Let the opposition or whoever wants the result, let them have it and let them do whatever they want to do with it. It will not shake me as the president, especially if my claims are correct. So I don't see any reason why anybody is arguing over that.
Thank you very much, sir. I think what I take from what Dr. Oyegbile has said is, sort of casting a little bit more scrutiny into the president's reaction. When you have a situation like this, it seems like the straightforward, logical, and expected decision would be to say, oh, fire ahead, bring out the certificates, bring out the records, and let us put this case to rest. But I think just piggybacking off that scrutiny, I just want to ask Dr. Deji-Folutile that what do you think Nigerians should take from this, from just the response of the president, the conduct of the entire, saying this situation will may cause irrecoverable damage to my life. What do you think that Nigerians should be taking from that?
Well, for me, I think all of this issue has been known for quite some time, and now I think more Nigerians are now getting more interested in this case, because we've been hearing of this certificate saga for more than
Since the return of democracy.
yes. So, but we just air and we move on. But I guess this is another dimension to it, because now we are getting to know about gender issues and academic issues. Before, it was just whether this person attended this university or not. But now we are now getting another clue. Naturally, I think Nigerians will be more interested to actually, there is this thing in curiosity in people, that what is actually going on. And that was why I alluded to the fact that maybe the president was also trying to play along, so that at the end of the day, he could just embarrass his opponents and let them keep their mouths shut forever. Because this thing is dragging long and people are getting more interested. They want to really know. I mean, today's one is even so funny to me, that release my certificate but hold on to my academic records, hold on to my gender, hold on to all other things. Naturally, Nigerians will be curious, and I think this could have also introduced some doubts, even in the best of supporters of the president. They could, like Dr. Oyegbile said, that shouldn't this be just a straightforward thing? That why should we have all this drama around certificates, for crying out loud? So for me, honestly, I just want a stop and an end to all of this confusion. I would love to see the president's records, if not for anything, just for the sake of Nigerians, so that those of us that are not politicians, those of us that we just want to show that these are the things that our president claims to have and these are the things he really has, we can move on with our lives. So for that sake, I would like to even see the records. And so I think Nigerians are now more curious to even know what it is gone that is the real thing, so that all of us can even move ahead from all of this drama. And the irritating and annoying thing for me is the kind of stories you read everywhere, like somebody saying, we beg Atiku, we are begging Atiku, stop this case, don't continue, stop embarrassing Nigeria. And you now wonder, which one is embarrassment again? Are you already saying that our president does not have a certificate? Or are you saying that our president has issue with gender? And for that to be coming from one APC youth leader or whatever, it's so embarrassing, and you just want to, you just feel bad because you are a Nigerian and you just want to be sure that no, things are working well. We have not descended this low now. And what will even make a person to be denying his own gender? So as Nigerians, I think people want to really know these things so that we can move ahead once and for all.
I just want to go back to Dr. Oyegbile to ask, what should be the implication of, let's say it turns out that the president actually lied about something and he didn't go to Chicago State University, or it turns out that there is some identity fraud, whatever the case may be. What do you think the implication should be, either on his presidency or the subsequent days of his leadership?
Well, according to the Constitution, that means he has lied on oath. So he's going to forfeit that office and also be tried. So he might likely go to prison. At least that's what the Constitution says. So if he's found out that he has lied and he didn't attend the university or whatever it is, he will have to leave the presidency and be tried. I think that's the safest thing we can say for now, according to the Constitution.
And that brings us to the conclusion of today's episode. Join us again next week for another episode of AF24 News Talks, and would also love to hear about what you think about today's case. It's still a developing story, so you can follow the rest of it as it unfolds on AF24NEWS.com and via all our social media channels listed in the description of this video. Until next week, we wish you all the best.